My name is Mark Olivares, O-L-I, V as in Victor, A-R-E-S.
And what do you do for them?
I am a Master Texas Peace Officer currently employed with Harden ISD Police Department. Conversing with Mr. McGlamory, Ken, which is the Bexar County Parks Manager, the discussion was that we want to make sure we coordinated properly and that every part was overseen with the logistics to make sure that the officers were there placed.
Did you ever receive a phone call from Michelle Barrientes Vela?
I received a phone call, that's correct.
And what did she say in that phone call?
So I received a phone call, it was, I believe, on Tuesday, the week prior to Easter Sunday. It was from a private number. They did not display a phone number on the caller ID. And it was kind of a phone call that normally I don't receive, but it was kind of, how should I say, in layman's terms, very aggressive. When I answered the phone, she was basically, she didn't directly introduce herself. I tried calling her back to her office several times. I got where, oh, she's busy, she doesn't have time right now, she's unavailable. And Friday, on that day before, I knew business hours closed at 5 o'clock, I called 3 times to her office, and they said, no, she's unavailable. I said, look, I don't know who you are on this phone, but let her know it's Mark Olivares, and if she does not answer this phone right now, none of your deputies are going to work. I'm going to replace them with some of their officers out there.
Good morning, Mr. Reyes.
Good morning.
I'm going to direct your attention to Easter Sunday.
Okay.
Is that something that you did every year?
Yes.
And what did you do for Easter Sunday at Rodriguez Park?
We just hang out with family.
So when you received that call and you learned that there seemed to be a cancellation, what did you do?
I went over there to see what was going on.
There's no reason for 4 hours just to come up on you with your family, you know. I didn't want to go any further than that, so I just told my wife, let's go get money, give them whatever we can afford.
After Easter Sunday, did you have an occasion to visit Precinct 2 regarding what had occurred on Easter Sunday?
No.
Did you call the precinct?
I called to ask why I had been charged for security.
Do you have a recollection of who you may have spoken to?
It was just the people that answer up front, maybe personnel or something.
Okay, and when you called and asked why you were charged for security, did they explain why?
No.
Take your legal name.
So sorry, Anthony David.
What was your impression after you were briefed by Castillo?
My impression of the
Situation in Pavilion 1 with the guests.
my impression is they were upset.
And is it important to know that in order to provide proper security detail on an assignment such as this?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you remember how you were paid for your work that day?
I believe I was paid in cash.
Do you have a recollection of how much money you were paid?
No, ma'am.
Based off what you testified to, because Constable Vela opted out of the Bexar County Easter weekend, correct?
I did not know that.
But she paid you out of her own pocket, correct?
That's correct.
Could you please state your name for the record?
Vanessa Pena.
And what is your title?
I'm a corporal with Bexar County Constable's Office, Precinct 2, Constable.
Was anybody else doing a shift for security ahead of you?
When I arrived, I did, it was Bella, Anthony Castillo, and then I believe it was a reserve officer, Gonzalez.
And what did you expect to do when you got there?
Well, what I was instructed to do by Anthony Castillo was we were going to go in and tear up our checks.
Tear up your checks.
Mm-hmm.
What checks?
The checks that we were supposed to be paid out through the county for working the park.
We're going to go ahead and recess for the day. You remain under the same instructions. Tomorrow we'll start back up at 10:30, okay? Thank you.
All right, for the jury.